What's going on, bros? Welcome to my once every 6 months motivational, TED Talky, entrepreneurial advice type self-help video.
You serious?
Yeah. So, in all honesty, for those of you that watch my illustration rare black bolt and white flare print quality video from yesterday, it was very obvious that I had probably, another video on my mind because I kept bringing up goals and timelines and how I've accomplished a lot in a very short amount of time by using goals and really hammering on goals like annual goals. This is the video I was thinking about that I really wanted to make, an actual somehow, some way. How do you make a helpful video in the Pokepocalypse 2025 about people who are trying to make a side hustle, trying to make a little supplemental income within this hobby, whether it be just to eat away at the amount of money you're spending, so you get a little money back, or maybe you full-blown want to become, some kind of just side job where you're making so much supplemental income, you don't even need to pay. It's not coming out of your paycheck anymore when you rip open or buy your favorite Pokemon products. It's all being paid for by your side hustle, whether that be on the weekends, something you do at night after work, whatever. That is what I'm going to talk about today. Is even possible to make money in this hobby? Obviously, it's very different if you're a new collector going right into this hobby with no Pokemon cards and you're just like, I want to make money off Pokemon. Well, your answer is going to be a little different, maybe, than someone who's got 3 years worth of a collection, whatever, depending on what you're going to do. The point is, this video is going to be very
corny.
Yeah, what I mean by that is I came up with 4 words easy to remember, that I genuinely believe these 4 words, like characteristics, mindsets, or whatever, if you have at least a little bit of all 4 of these, you're not going to have any problem making a little bit of money, establishing yourself, and maybe someday making a lot of money in this hobby. And, okay, here we go. Here's the 4 words. Please don't make fun of me.
Passion, experience, motivation, and creativity.
Passion, experience, motivation, and creativity. So I'm going to explain all that and why I chose those 4 words, give examples, and we're going to talk about some other PokeTubers that I find a lot of inspiration in, that I can see how they've leaned into their strengths and some of those words as it relates to them to become very successful, make a lot of money in this hobby. I'm even going to show some of you guys, some of you viewers that watch my channel, some of the business models and side hustles you guys are doing to make supplemental income to pay for Pokemon cards. And I'll even give examples of people started with the side hustle. Next thing you know, they quit their job and now Pokemon is literally all they do. So that's what I'm going to talk about today.
Do it! Just do it! Don't let your dreams be dreams. Yesterday, you said tomorrow. So just do it! Make your dreams come true! Just do it!
Okay, here we are. We are on my business card, all my links or whatever. This is just showing you what I have so far right now. So I have YouTube, Instagram, my eBay, TikTok, and apparently I have a Threads. I always forget. Go over here. Okay, so Mimic Brew. Okay, so here's we're at almost 9,000 subs. Been doing this for 2 years. This is, I'm not Deep Pocket Monster, I'm not Poke Rev, but again, you can see yourself a year from now with these results coming from me, okay? It's not that hard to imagine yourself a year from now with putting in the passion, experience, motivation, creativity, bringing a social media page from 0 to 8,000 or 9,000 subscribers. It's not hard to see yourself accomplish that, whereas, a Poke Rev or something like that, it's probably way harder to imagine yourself getting to that level. But yeah, that took a very oh my god, the amount of nights I had to stay, the amount of YouTube videos I had to learn, literally learning how to YouTube via watching YouTube videos. Here we have my Instagram, so we have 3,800, coming up on 4,000 Instagram followers. And lately, zero effort, okay? Zero effort, it's all whatever. But there was a point in time when this was the face of my eBay store, and I had to put a ton of effort into this to get up to that 3,000. I've never been big on shorts or any of that kind of stuff. But back when I was an eBay seller and that's all I cared about, this was the face of my eBay store. So yeah, so we got a little bit on IG as far as that goes, 3,800. Here's the TikTok. This is actually embarrassing, the TikTok here, because so we hit 1,800 on TikTok, but over the last year and a half, it is the least effort. We were talking just reposting Instagram stories. However, there was a time, you go back far enough, where I had to put in the effort, and I was very dedicated to TikTok. You just got to go way, 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 way back. I think I even used to clip videos from my YouTube videos into shorts on TikTok. But any of this stuff, there are people whose entire thing is just Instagram, and that's all they focus on. Your Alex Ketchums of the world, who have like millions, and that was their side passion, and now that guy, just kills it on IG. There are people who just kill it on TikTok. For me, I'm all about long form content. But okay, so let's go back to 3 years ago where I started. So in 2023, goals, time frames. January 1st, 2023, I said I want to have an eBay store. I think I said I want to hit 1,000 sales. I want to become a top-rated seller, and I don't know if I put an actual sales goal like 20,000, but I just wanted to be like the next TCA Gaming. And by putting a year limit, and oh man, it just, for an entire year straight, this is all I cared about. The Instagram was the face of it. And am I still a top-rated seller? This is a graveyard now. Oh god, I am. There you go. Top-rated seller. Point is, a very, very long time where this is all I focused on, and this is all I cared about. As soon as I hit my goals, motivation fell off a cliff, and I started bouncing into other aspects of this, this niche, this TCG, which is another positive of Pokemon, is you can accomplish something and then move on to something completely different, still within Pokemon. So I spent a little bit of time, becoming a top-rated seller on eBay. Spent a little bit of time developing an Instagram, spent a little bit of time developing a TikTok, and obviously I've now spent a lot of time developing this YouTube channel. All of it, there's no way I would have accomplished any of it without passion, experience, motivation, and creativity. I'm just being honest, it's corny as it sounds. Now we're going to get in to a couple of you people real quick in making money, as far as making supplemental income, and I'm going to give some examples that aren't even related to Pokemon cards. Here's a Pocket Trove Emporium right here. So I've actually done a Pocket Trove giveaway. This is someone like a graded guard. No, this is the actual thing, the display stands. So this acrylic 3D print, dude, this is a very, very good product. This is someone who makes money off of Pokemon cards adjacent. Let's put it that way. Mads likes cardboard. This girl right here, longtime viewer, she has a Mercari store. She does sell cards, but here's another side hustle. She just started doing these reduction prints. Guess what? She sells these. She makes money on these. Where do you think that money goes? Probably more Pokemon cards and other things. I'm just saying, don't worry, we'll get back to specifically Pokemon card type stuff in a sec, but I'm just saying creativity, that's a real thing. Passion, experience, motivation, creativity. This is a very creative way to make money off Pokemon cards, but not really Pokemon cards. About Pokemon Card Fans. Okay, so you've also probably seen this too. 3 devious art, these 3D reduction. Here's just another example of people being creative and motivated and probably making a lot of money. And again, this helps support their Pokemon card addiction. So there's a lot of this kind of stuff if you are creative and motivated enough. But we'll get back to actual Pokemon card type people and selling. TCA Gaming is somebody I look up to. My eBay store, me, was very much, this is nothing, but I modeled all of it off of Rusty. So since 2013, TCA Gaming has been selling on eBay, and we're going to go to his eBay store real quick. So you see 471,000 items sold, 36,000 followers. He's like pretty much the #1 dude on eBay as far as Pokemon cards go. But in 2013, when he started, he probably was making very, very slim. He was probably making $1 or $2 per sale. Okay, I'm just saying, this was a side project. It was something on the side Rusty did while he had a day job, and now, you know, it's a decade later and Rusty's the man. The point is, we can go to a shorter time frame here. Here's Pokemon Steven from out of Australia, the Australian version of TCA Gaming. Right here, this guy. So here he is, right there. There he is, Pokemon Steven. Right there. This guy, so TCA Gaming, Pokemon Steven, these are two examples of eBay sellers that have done very, very well for themselves, selling raw and graded cards. But again, their profit margins in the beginning, probably not too big. So Rusty, how did he succeed? He succeeded by starting early and having a serious amount of passion in what he was doing. So he's been around forever. Pokemon Steven, he mainly succeeded by supplying, being specifically Japanese Pokemon cards in Australia. So by finding a niche within the Australia region, Japanese Pokemon cards, focusing on Japanese, doing a really good job, high customer feedback, similar to what you used to see out of Brian Pokeyeni here in America, delivering specifically Japanese. Obviously, Brian has expanded. Okay, so now we're going to look at some other stuff. Pokebeard. He is vending now, but this is someone who never quit collecting, right? Never stopped collecting, has a serious amount of passion, experience, motivation, and creativity. Where does the creativity come in? He literally created multiple series on YouTube about what he is passionate about. So Market Mondays, What If Wednesdays, Falling Fridays, these are all things that he generated in his head based on his own passion, experience, motivation, and creativity. Now I can guarantee you, I know for a fact, that, this person, Pokebeard, he doesn't have a regular job. He doesn't need to anymore. And in fact, all this endeavor, which started out as a hobby, now completely pays for all his current and future Pokemon card, everything. Everything is paid for. Why? A serious amount of passion and motivation and, yeah, creativity. He didn't copy what other PokeTubers were doing. He made up his own thing, and now he doesn't have a day job, and he's doing amazing. Okay, now, Danny Phantom, here's another guy, on YouTube specifically for 10 straight years, fail. Finally caught, the last 3 years Danny's taken off. But behind the scenes, grinding it out with the Card Coliseum, grinding out at tournaments, buying and selling a ton of stuff on the grind for years and years and years, just like TCA Gaming was years and years and years ago. Now, doesn't have a day job at all. Here's a guy that I would talk a lot of crap about pretty often, but this is someone being very, passion, experience, motivation, creativity. When you watch, what is Phillips Collectibles good at? Phillips Collectibles is a marketing and advertising and editing genius. So for Phillips Collectibles, 2 years ago, to be a complete nobody and become a PokeTuber and heavily lean into what he was good at. What is Phillips Collectibles good at? I just said it. Editing and marketing. Very clean marketing, very good editing. Maybe he knows what he's talking about, maybe he doesn't. Doesn't matter. He leaned into what he was good at. He's creative, and now he does not need to pay for Pokemon cards at all other than off his own ad revenue, okay? And 2 years ago, Phillips Collectibles, if he wanted to buy a booster box, that was coming straight out of his paycheck. Now, it's coming out of his ad revenue because he leaned into what he was good at. Okay, back to me. Okay, so for me, what really helped and worked well was goals and time frames. Like the year 2023 was all about selling on eBay and accomplishing those goals. 2024 was all about no more selling and collecting and acquiring as many cards as I possibly could. 2025 this year is about growing my YouTube channel. 2026 is going to be about me finishing all my SVR collecting goals. 2027 is, who knows? But the point is, I use goals and time frames to accomplish a lot, and that's what I lean into, and that's what's worked for me. There are other people who are just very artistic, and they lean into that, and that's what works for them. There are other people who are very business-oriented, like your Pokeyenis, and they lean into that. The point is, passion, experience, motivation, creativity, these things, they start, once you get the ball rolling, it all becomes easy. Once you really get passionate about some entrepreneurial endeavor that you're getting into, all of a sudden, the energy is there. All of a sudden, you're staying up all night. learning how to YouTube, learning how to, build your eBay store, learning how to build your website for your whatever. The point is, if you do have that passion, experience, motivation, and creativity, you will find a way to accomplish a lot in this hobby, because there is a lot of things you can accomplish in this hobby. And if you don't, you won't. Okay? It does not matter how expensive cards are right now. It doesn't matter about distro this, I can't get distro. No, there's just making any money at all to help things is helpful right now. You can do it. There are plenty of examples of people who've got it done. Setting goals has been a massive thing for me that has helped. Okay, if this video was terribly unhelpful and terribly corny, I am so sorry. It's just, think of it, it's very hard to make an actually helpful video in today's environment, in the Pokemon TCG environment right now. So if I did, and you did appreciate this video, thank you. And if not, I apologize. And I'll see you guys tomorrow on Hottest Cards of the Week. Deuces.
Just do it!